Hello everyone, welcome to another Billy Hatching the Giant Egg speedrun tutorial. This video will be covering Sand Ruins Mission 2, and without further ado, let's get into the full breakdown of this level. This level, I will need to state now, is quite difficult, but hopefully this guide will help you get through this. There will be a lot of different strategies you can do to maybe help you out. It's also one of the biggest skips in the game. So it's kind of one of these levels you do need to learn, because it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Because that skip saves about a minute and a half, and a minute and a half time save. It's real good, gamers. Also, that was some scuffed movement, but I don't think it really matters, because this is what we want to set up for. A double B kill like that. Now, doesn't that look nice? Okay, so now we're going to be setting up for a trick known as torch skip. This is the big skip that I was talking about. It saves about a minute and a half. So essentially we're going to bounce off that torch in front of us and get across this lake here. And it will look something like that. Beautiful. If you dash over here, you can activate a checkpoint, which I'm just going to do for the sake of showing off. And then I'm going to dash all the way around here and roll into this pit. Now the moment when we get into this pit, we're going to roll again. And that's called the Kai roll. It reminds me of sausage rolls, don't ask me why. And then we're going to dash through here. And we're going to go through this purple pink ring. Here's the colour. Magenta. Let's say magenta. It's a magenta ring. Please put in the comments what colour that ring actually is. And we can do a dash jump across here. Now we're going to do something called Fog Room Skip. We're going to do Ludus's setup here, because Ludus's setup is actually poggers as frick. So it's roughly like this spacing. I am not too familiar with this trick, but I've watched the video and I think I can get this. There we are. Nice. And that basically skips the entire Fog Room. And then once we're in these blue hoops, yeah, there's the text box there. You can actually skip the text box, but it's a bit difficult. And that's the level. So now let's get into the detailed breakdown of the level. So this will be the breakdown of the level. Immediately when you grab the egg, you'll want to do a dash cancel, and a jump off this platform to land down here. We're then going to go to the bottom right enemy that spawns and egg shoot it to start a big combo like so. And ideally we want to kill the dinosaur, which we did, and then once the dinosaur's dead, we want to kill the rest of the cats. There is one cat remaining. If you get apples, that's good, because that'll immediately grow out your flipping egg. You then want to come to this part of the square, which is the top right corner of the big brown gate, or the bottom left of the square in the corner of this square. And as you see, this will lure both of these. A well-timed egg shoot will kill them both, like so. I will then also show off a strat known as the single bee, which is slower but a bit easier. Also, you then, after you want to kill the bees, you then want to just jump over this before the cutscene starts, and then mash A, so you can do something like this, and then just roll forward because the camera will sort itself out for you. Jump through these rings. So after you jump here, I like to go to the bottom left triangle in front of me, like so, and get up. And essentially, what this will do is we'll then run through the dinosaurs from left to right, and then we'll do a U-turn and jump directly into the blue ring. We need a giant egg to do the torch skip, so make sure you have a giant egg still. And so you jump in like this. And now I will explain torch skip. Alright, so torch skip has a lot of factors to consider. Essentially, we're playing with a entity in the game that has a static hitbox, which is the fire. If Billy touches the fire, he gets knocked off the egg, and the egg usually just falls into the quicksand. It's very annoying to deal with. So to do that, one of the biggest factors is we need to make sure Billy is on the right of the egg. So let's just jump back down here again. This movement that we just did here essentially ensures that Billy is on the right of the egg. Cool. If you're not, so you land here, just go around to the right, grab the egg. That's basically the first thing you need to know. The next thing you need to know is spacing. You need to be spaced a certain amount into the torch so that, one, you're far enough in to get enough speed to get across there, but not too much speed that you lose a lot of height. You also want to make sure you're not far enough in that you actually get hit by the torch. And you also need to make sure that, if you're also too far away from the torch, you just won't get across. I have a couple visual references that help set this up, and also inputs that will really help with this. Essentially, we like to come over here like so. Let's do this from the ring just so you guys get an idea. So we come over here like so, and we egg bounce on this edge like so. Now if you want to make sure Billy's on the right, you can hold A a little bit, and as you see, Billy sort of goes to the side you want to go on. Whilst if you mash the A button, you can't guarantee that he'll always be on that side. So hold A a little bit, don't hold it all the way down or else you'll drive it like so. And as you see, Billy lets go of the egg, and if you're on the edge, you'll lose your egg. Very frustrating to deal with. As we approach the torch, I like to make sure that this side of the shadow of the egg, so the left side, is basically just a little bit to the left of this black line that Billy is standing on. So like here. If you watch the breakdown, you'll see how I do it. And then, okay, so that's basically how you want to line it up. As for the inputs, I like to hold up left. I like to hold the camera straight up so I can actually see the floor first of all, because as I said, I like to line up with the floor. That's important. But also, because the camera's like that, I hold up left into the torch like so. And when I bounce up, because people like, when I bounce up and then get launched, I flick to upright like so, like a quarter circle turn. People treat this like a sign bounce, where they will go immediately upon bounce up. That will fail the trick. Because the torch is in the air, you'll get launched later than a sign jump, essentially. So I essentially would do this quarter circle turn when you notice you've been launched. It's more of a reactionary thing. So don't do this quarter circle turn early. And if you do everything together, it should look something like this. And just to save myself repeating this, I am just going to stop this recording and go again. Okay, so we'll go back to the ring and we'll start from the ring. So if you're in the ring, bounce out of it like so. Come over here, hold A. Bounce against there, quarter circle turn when you've launched, and also make sure you roll at the end so you actually land on there. Cool. Now we're across there, that's perfect. I mean, I don't really want to go into speedrun philosophy, but not every trick in speedrunning will be easy. Not family skip. Torch skip is very difficult to perform. And, you know, if it's difficult for you, don't give up, just keep trying. Eventually you'll understand it. Just keep watching how I do it, for example, or watch how other runners do it, and just see what they're doing different from you. If you have an input display, it's perfect for like learning. Okay. Also, from this point on, if you are intending to learn family skip, the hardest trick in the game, this is where the videos will branch off. So if at this point you want to learn family skip, please go to the other video. But if you're not intending to do it and you want to go down the fog room, then perfect. Let's continue on like so. Alright. You can actually dash here to activate the checkpoint, so that if anything goes wrong from this point, at least you're here. And you want to dash jump across here, and then dash jump across here as well. You then want to dash around here and hit this switch. When we bounce down, we're going to roll to the left to go into the pit, like so. And then after that, once we've fallen in the pit, we're going to roll to the right when we land. Or roll upright, I should say. And we're going to jump on here. That's called the Kai roll. Sometimes you'll get an instant get up, just quickly react and dash out the way. If you do lose your egg, there is an egg sort of in the bottom right corner of this part. So when you get here, you just want to dash jump up here, jump and air roll across here like so. Then go through the blue rings and through there. We want to keep our giant egg to do ludicrous set up for the EBB because it's the easiest way to do the fog room skip in my opinion. And through here. A cutscene will actually trigger at this point. This is absolutely fine. And I'm also just going to end the recording here to explain the fog room skip. Okay, so this is a guide on the egg boost strat to do the fog room skip. We're just going to go from having no egg. Yeah, if you pick up the green egg, you can get a full egg very quickly. We need a full egg to do this trick. Or at least this setup. So we're going to jump off this corner like so. And then just hold forward. And that allows us to get around that pillar. You can also dash jump to the middle pillar. There also will be a switch here that we hit. But because I've done like a failed attempt of it, yeah, it fails. So what I like to do is I like to line up the right side of the shadow egg so it's basically touching this dash is going through this white line that you can see. I then also like to line up the egg so that the middle of the shadow of the egg going across from say this point to this point is going through the line that is dividing the blue stripe from the white. With that set up, we're now going to grab our clip and egg and we're going to start bouncing on the middle of the switch and hold directly into the side. Now when we're ready to do the trick, we're going to hold towards the egg on our descent, on the bounce down, and then just keep holding into the egg the entire way. We'll get a big boost up, and then you just want to roll like so. From this point on, you then just want to dash, jump into these blue rings, and enter the Corvo fight. I'm just not going to enter because I need to do some more recordings, but yep. That's basically, oh, I just stepped in, oops. Well, that's basically the fog room skip strat. Cool. Okay, so as I said, you can just dash jump off here if you don't want to do dash cancel jump. I would recommend doing dash cancel jump though. Still, yep, kill the enemies like normal. Make sure they're all monka dead. And here's the single bee strat. So you want to kill the bee before it launches you, and then come over here. And then the bee will charge you and then just launch down on it as it's trying to charge you. That's the single bee strat. Cool. And now we're just heading towards torch skip where I'll be showing off another setup for it. So if you don't want to do torch skip and you're absolutely adamant not to do it, I'd recommend doing this instead. Essentially you want to come over here. Yeah, over here. And essentially, you want it to, you want the bottom of the shadow egg to be lined up on this sort of part here that divides the sort of this brown stripe from this cat food coloured tile set, essentially. We then want the right of the shadow of the egg to be lined up on this dash, which is the one from the left from this horrible stained looking one. We then want to grab our other egg and egg bounce on this red tile right here. The best way to tell which tile it is it should be next to this red tile like so, that is touching the side. And then once we've done that, we're going to do another egg boost bounce strat that we did to do the fog room skip. Again, if you didn't see that part, essentially when we egg bounce down, we're going to hold forward into the egg for the entire time. And basically we're going to get boosted upwards and forward, and that should be able to cover our distance to do the torch skip distance, like so. So shout out to Pedro for that discovery because that is a really good video. Poggers. So if you don't want to go for the fog room skip strat, which is kind of tricky, I don't blame you, it is a very risky strat. But nonetheless, if you don't want to do it, here's what you should do. There are a couple of things you can do, but here's the safest one to start with. We'll show off a risky strat afterwards. So just come this way. As normal, you just want to hit the switch so we can actually go through the door. As far as we're aware, there is no way around that door without having to hit it, which kind of sucks. You then just want to dash jump back. The pillar will fall, unless the pillar hasn't fallen already. You then want to egg bounce up on top of here and roll. Now you'll see there's like 3 fruit in the distance, or like 3 white orbs. We're going to dash jump over there, line up straight to them, and then jump up the third one. It should look something like this. And as you can see, we're in the hoop. There's another hoop here. And then we can roll jump across here, and that was safe. And that's the exit. Cool. That's everything you need to know. Don't do that, I'm just doing that to end the recording. Okay, So, say you happen to have died prior to doing the Fulcrum skip. There's a strat you could do to back it up. I really wouldn't recommend this, but it's kind of cool if you want to show off to your friends. You can actually just sign bounce here to make it to the statue and into the exit. I don't like that sign bounce. In fact, I don't like a lot of the sign bounces in this level because they are all kind of risky, but that's something you can do. Okay, so this is just going to be the Dark Corvo portion of the video. I'm going to run through this once very quickly so you get an idea of how the boss should look. And then we'll break it down with a lot of pauses because there's a lot to explain with this boss. This is definitely one of the more complicated boss fights of the game because there's a lot going on and there's a lot that we are abusing. So I'll talk through it as I go. We're going to grab this apple and then we're going to grab this banana. We're then going to stand here, lure, and again going to take like a step or two, lure him again and lure him one more time, making sure that we're going to his back every time after he swipes because that's where he'll be facing after he swipes. We then like to get Corvo into this corner like so. And we're going to put our egg here and we're going to stand roughly here. Doesn't really matter where we stand along this face of the wall as long as we're standing here. And as you'll see, what happens is Glad takes the shots and all the shots will just leave. They just bail out. They're like, no thank you. But I'm going to grab this egg. 1, 2, 1, 2. I was a bit delayed there. Yeah, make sure you grab the apple immediately. Otherwise you might mess up like I did. We should be fine though. I hope. If not, I'll have to just restart. And you guys will never know. Except those who watched it live at twitch.tv/Skyrim. We're then going to wait for him a little bit. Hit him once. Come over here. And then hit him one more time. He's then going to go into the Shadow Clones phase. And we're going to do something like this. I'll show off another strat that you can do in the full breakdown, but yeah, you can just do something like that where you basically space away. Also, the clone with the shadow is the real one. Make sure you know that. And then we're going to lure moles over here. And as you can see, if you stay close to moles, you can't really do anything. Like he reduces all his baseline. You then want to hit him once with this lovely egg shoot like so, and then once with the giant egg. And pull our egg back to safety. I would recommend doing this way if you're beginners. The strats I show off in the other version are a bit more weird champ, but they definitely work. So remember, the one with the shadow. 1, 2, he's dead. I didn't mean to go for do there, but I think you still get the point. Just don't hatch your egg. Either way, that's Dark Corvo. And yeah, so the more detailed breakdown will explain everything that's going on. Essentially, we skipped like 2 phases doing that setup that we did. But without further ado, let's get on with the actual breakdown of the fight. Okay, so this may sound a bit strange because this is cut in like right at the in a weird spot of the Corvo fight. But the purpose of this Corvo strat that I'm about to show off is to skip this upcoming phase after the Shadow Clones phase. So after we deal the damage to these Shadow Clones, he will send out the clone of Sultim. And we don't really want to fight the Sultim clone phase because it's a very long, slow, painful phase. It's kind of hard to dodge as well. Luckily we're dodging pretty well here. But after this phase is done, the boss should be defeated. But ideally we want to kill the boss before that. So we will now show off how to beat Dark Corvo super quickly. Basically the whole strat consists of abusing the damage caps that Corvo actually has set for you, and we're gonna like overflow those values so that we can basically do more damage than we're actually meant to, and allow us to skip some phases. So ideally this whole strat is based around an apple. This apple is very important. The apple is right behind the continue essentially. We're going to grab that apple immediately, and then we're going to run back and grab the banana. The banana's not as important as the apple, but we need the apple as quickly as possible. So pick up the apple, pick up the banana, then bring Air Gecko around here, tail swipe once, tail swipe twice, and tail swipe 3 times. Make sure to go to the back, because that's where he'll be chasing after each swipe. You then want to hit him 3 times as normal. We're then going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, And now we're going to perform a strat called That's Glare. Now, if anyone's fought the Glare phase before, you might realise that these bullets are bouncy and very annoying, very easy to get hit by. But if we place our egg roughly here... Also, I should have stated that we want Corvo in the corner for these first few phases. So, we're going to put our egg here, and then we're going to stand right here with Corvo in the corner. And as you'll see, what will happen is Glare will shoot out these bullets, and then they'll all just leave the arena. And this is a very beautiful tactic. So now that Corvo is vulnerable, we're going to hit him once with this egg to deal 1 damage, because it's not a mid-sized egg yet, so it's only going to do 1 damage. Then we're going to grab the apple, egg shoot twice, and throw him twice. This will allow us to... So this is kind of complicated to explain, but essentially what's going on is we are going to deal 5 damage to Corvo. We need to deal 5 damage to Corvo at this point, because we are going to abuse the damage caps here. This is very important. So instead of doing 4 damage to Corvo, which the game stops you at, we're going to deal 5 damage here. So we're going to go 1, grab the apple. Now instead of hitting Corvo twice from when the apple spawns, we're actually going to delay it so we can grab the apple in the next phase quickly. So what we're going to do is, once the egg has grown, we're going to egg shoot once, and then egg shoot twice. Now that we've egg shooted twice, we're then just going to hit Corvo very quickly twice before he goes into his next state of invulnerability. This will allow us to deal 5 damage to Corvo very quickly. So 1, 2. We're then going to go grab the banana, because we need the banana again. So now is the turbo phase. The turbo phase is very easy to deal with. It's just fireball that's so easy to avoid. Just make sure you're behind your egg. And that's very cool. So I think here Corvo either has a damage cap of 3 or 4, but we want to deal 5 damage to him here instead. So how we're going to do that is we're going to wait for him to come down, and we're going to hit him once. And then we're going to come over to this corner like so, roughly here, where the apple will spawn. Now that we've picked up the apple, we need to wait for it to grow, and then hit him once more. We can then do a cool little strat here, where we go 2 to 3 corners to the right, and place our egg over there like so. We can even put it in the corner next to there, but I did it for a bit of safety. With the shadow clones dealt with, we're going to hit them twice. Now, the moles phase has a damage cap of 3, but we're going to deal 4 damage here. And how we're going to do that is we're going to quickly grab this egg and bring it over. As you can see, he is now interested in doing a belly slide, like so. Make sure you don't lose your eggs. You can roughly stand inside the moles and make him belly slide. Also, try not to get hit as much as I am here. I'm just trying to get it nice and tight to show off, like basically him not sliding at all. You then want to egg shoot this egg once, like so, and then hit him with the giant egg. That deals 4 damage. He then has one last Shadow Clones phase, which has a damage cap of probably like 4 or something like that, but because we have a giant egg, we can deal 6 damage. I like to put the egg on the triangle opposite to where, or the triangle closest to where Corvo was, because you go to the opposite side of the arena. So this triangle's nice and safe. We also want Corvo to go nowhere near this egg, because that will be dangerous otherwise. And as you see, we're kind of low on health. And then 1, 2, Corvo is dead. Try and stay near the middle, so then you can grab the emblem. So I'm also going to link Ludicrous's guide, because he explains it really well. The only reason why I made my own guide is because when I was watching Ludicrous's video, I felt like it was very risky, some of the strategies going for, like where he puts his eggs. And like he put it right next to Glare, and Glare can just break your egg. He puts it right next to Corvo, where Corvo can break the egg. I feel like we don't want to break your egg. So I feel like just showing off some safer strats for this is just a better way. And that's basically the Stand 2 tutorial. So I've been Chiron. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me at twitch.tv/Chiron. Check out the Discord, link is in the description. If the link doesn't work, go to speedrun.com/bh where you can actually get the link. And that's basically the Corvo fight. Thank you for watching.